All right, guys. So in the interest of saving a little bit of time here, we had a couple things come out, some news drop that's a little bit unrelated in some ways, but they're kind of around the same ballpark. We have a couple of movies that got pushed back, and for different reasons here. But one of them being the new, I'm going to say highly anticipated because I'm highly anticipating it, but the Mortal Kombat movie that's going to be debuting on HBO Max, and then I think it's going to theaters too, if I'm not mistaken. That got pushed back an extra week. I think it was about a week. And then Venom 2, unfortunately, was also pushed back. Now, this one, it makes sense. Unfortunately for Venom 2, and I mean, the studios probably worked this out like in advance, but this had to move because Fast 9, Fast and Furious fame, it ended up moving on the same release date as Venom. So, like, obviously, Venom wasn't going to try to compete with Fast and the Furious. It wasn't going to happen. This one isn't very surprising. Now, the Mortal Kombat one, I think there's a little bit more to it. And here's the thing. And this is kind of, I don't know, I guess you could say it's tinfoil hatty, but it's really not because it makes too much logical sense here. It was originally scheduled to come out on April 16th. Now, with that, the Snyder Cut came out on March 18th. So, if you would have signed up on March 18th to watch the Snyder Cut, you would have gotten in 1 month's time your 1 month subscription. You could have signed up for $15 and canceled HBO Max, and you would have gotten the Snyder Cut, Godzilla vs. Kong, and Mortal Kombat in one 15-month sub period. Or $15 sub period, rather. 1 month, $15 for all, essentially like 3 blockbuster films. So, the tinfoil hat theory out there is that they simply moved it a week to force a second month subscription, which, good on you, because you were kind of stupid for having it all in one small 1 month window anyway at that point, in my opinion. Like, it would be insane for them to throw away millions of dollars and not force a second month sub for something like that. Like, it's honestly, I said this before when they first announced that they were going to be releasing all of their movies on HBO Max. They could do this. They could have them segmented out. So 1 month you get this, and then the next month you get this, and then the next month you get this. So then you pretty much lock you into a, well, I can't unsubscribe kind of mindset, because if I do, I won't be able to watch Mortal Kombat, and then I won't be able to watch this, and I won't be able to watch that. So it makes perfect sense, and like, good on them for doing it. Anybody who's like thinks this was like scummy or anything like that is kind of like, get out of here with that stuff. They're throwing away hundreds of millions of dollars, which they already have had to throw away hundreds of millions of dollars because they can't put these things in theaters and get as much of a turnout as they can at this point in time. So, I mean, you got to think, Snyder Cut costs like around $100 million for them to get finished. Godzilla vs. Kong had like $150-200 million budget, and then Mortal Kombat had like 80, was like 50 to 100. I can't remember how much they put into that one. But either way, you're looking at like around $500 million in just production, and then that's not even counting any sort of marketing they're doing. So, I mean, they've spent upwards of $500 million on these 3 movies. Perfectly within their rights to want to kind of get some return on that. So it's really no surprise to me. And then obviously, like I said, with Venom 2, I had to move. So, and it's where's it coming out now? It was originally supposed to come out in October 2020. Like, Jesus. Which is crazy to think that we live in a world where we should have already seen Venom at this point, and we have not. Jesus. So did they even put on the new release date for this? Or am I just overlooking it here? Or are they just delaying it? Did either of you guys know? This article doesn't even actually seem to say what the date is.
The film arrives in theaters September.
Yeah, okay, 24th. There we go. Because I saw it said September something up here.
That is a hot minute away.
September 17th. But either way, because that was the before date. Now it's coming in September 24th. It is a little ways away. But that would mean it's being almost an entire year the release pushed back at that point. It was supposed to come out.
Black Widow's had more than that, so like, I mean,
well, no, because it was supposed to come out in July last year, or was it May last year?
No, it was May. It had the Avengers date. It was May 4th or May. It had the Avengers date from the previous year. That was their because they've always released their movies the very beginning of May, and then with Infinity War they pushed it back to like the last weekend in April to get all of May in there. But yeah, Black Widow had that. Black Widow's gone more than a year. I'm trying to think, is there something else that I think went more than a year on delay? So
Man,
I think
which
Fast
makes
and
sense, I
Furious
mean.
would have almost at this point too.
I think I'm most hyped for Venom. That's gonna be so good. I feel like.
Yeah, I
We haven't
know,
even got footage for it though.
Rob, I know you think that it was smart to move away from Fast and Furious, but my God, Fast and Furious is it's what, number 9 in the series? Like,
Yeah, they
I
make
don't,
over $1 billion every time.
but didn't Venom come
they
out
get worse every
huge
time, too, I
with its
feel like.
last? Yeah, I know.
It made
Venom came
800
out
million.
huge last time, and the Rock, Jason Statham Fast and Furious spinoff movie didn't make a ton of money. Like it did decent at the box office, but it didn't. I think
It
there
almost
might be
made $1 billion. It
fatigue.
made over 900 million.
Yeah, I'm just, I don't know that I don't know that there's a world in which those two movies can't be on the same screen at the same time.
Well, they
And
directly cannibalize each other's audience. It's the same demographic. Like you'd be a fool to release this. It's like releasing Justice League during an
I know,
Avengers
but I'm
movie.
not sure why. I'm not sure why Sony blinked. I'm not sure. Like,
Well, that's the thing. They would have worked this out, like behind the scenes, because you got to think, like they wouldn't have just like randomly done. I mean, they could have. Like Paramount could have just been like, or Universal rather, could have just took the date. But I mean, Universal knew that Venom 2 was coming out on that day, and they still chose that date. So, like in my mind's eye, there was probably some discussion about it between the two,
Sure.
and then Sony decided that they would move. You know, would be my guess. Either way,
I'm not sure how
smart.
that worked, but yeah,
If I was a producer on Venom,
I'll be
I'm not
interested
putting my
to see-
movie out against Fast and Furious.
I'll be interested
Not
to
doing
see
it.
what the box office numbers are for those movies. Like what, when they're all said and done. Because I thought Venom had a strong, like, I thought there was some hype for this Venom movie, and beyond just seeing more fast cars go fast and do outrageous stuff, like I don't hear a lot of chatter or excitement about the Fast and Furious movie. And I know it does $1 billion, and I know all the numbers on it. I just I feel like that's just, yeah.
I hate to say
don't
that,
know.
but
They're actually like fun movies to watch. Though.
They are,
like,
but it's just
the first ones were bad. Ever since Fast 5, like they've been good.
I'm just not a big fan of the whole like heist thing. Like it's just, and I
Yeah,
don't know
but
why.
they're
I'm
good.
gonna say this, and I'm gonna probably get some heat for this. I don't like The Rock.
How do you not like The Rock? Everybody likes The Rock.
He's the same character in every movie.
Well, The
Yeah,
Rock's
but
not
that's
even
the
in
point.
this, is he?
No, he's not in Fast 9.
Oh no, because
So you're hating on somebody for no reason right now. You're hating on the highest paid actor in Hollywood for one, and you're hating on Black Adam for two. Like, and he's like the nicest dude in the fucking world. Like, literally, yeah, he literally is.
Yeah, he's a really,
he is like one of the most incredibly generous motherfuckers on the planet.
I liked him
dude.
better when he was in the WWE.
Oh, no way! Like, The Rock's great.
The Rock says.
Yeah, you can't quote him after you say you don't like him. That's not how it works.
Maybe that was a little harsh. Maybe it's not I don't like him. I don't prefer his movies.
Well, if you don't like his movies, that's fine. But The Rock is great. Like, I don't care what you say, and you can not like him all you want. I'm gonna continue loving The Rock. I love The Rock. I won't be surprised if you get some heat for that because he's so well liked. Because he's a nice guy outside of his acting, just because of how nice of a guy he is.
Yeah.
Like, so, but in the end, I don't know. I just know if I was a studio head, and I know, like, yeah, the fact of the matter is, neither of the movies would do as good as they would without both of them sharing that date. Is the thing.
True.
Like, you know what I mean?
Sure. I guess I'm surprised that Sony was the ones to blink. Like I would have thought Sony would have been like, no, we're here. And you know what? If you want to cannibalize your sales, we'll go ahead and, we're keeping this date. Like you're the ones that are choosing to move to the, and I'm not sure why Fast and Furious moved to that date. Like the I don't know, the rationale for picking movie dates, it used to make sense to me. It used to be you had, kind of from Memorial Day until the end of July. Those were the prime dates. You had about 2.5 months there of prime dates when school was out and kids and families went to movie theaters during the summer. You got your big budget movies in that time period. But anymore, I mean, they drop, the Star Wars movies dropped in December. The last Venom movie came out in the fall. Fast and Furious is coming out this fall. Like there doesn't seem to be any more rhyme or reason. BVS came out in like March. Like there doesn't seem to be those strong like rationale for why. So why in the world Fast and Furious moved to the 24th, a date that was already, or the 18th, whatever it was, a date that was already occupied, is kind of perplexing to me. And then also the fact that Sony would say, oh, you know what, you moved there, okay, we're moving our movie.
Yeah. That's the thing. The old days of like releasing the like it used to be like January was always where you dump your shitty movies too. That's even gone now. It's honestly, what it really speaks to is that there's a lot of good made content nowadays, where like you can't rely on like the summertime as being the only time the blockbusters come out, because you have studios like Marvel, for instance, who put out 4 movies a year. And they would need to spread them out a decent amount just to not cannibalize themselves.
Yeah.
And then, Disney owns Marvel. So if Disney has their own properties coming out, like, or one of their subsidiaries, they have to keep spreading like things out so they don't cannibalize themselves. And it just kind of keeps going on. Like, it's just gotten to a point where like there's so much content being made, kind of like television anymore, where you don't even really have a choice in the matter anymore. Like, there's really like, you can't just dump stuff in January that's going to be bad, because freaking Black Panther came out in February.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Split came out in I think Split and the other one, the whatever, Glass, I think both those came out in January. Glass wasn't as good as Split, but either way, it's like
good.
Split was great. Like, and it's like this thing is like you don't have those anymore because it's just too much content. I think that's like the real logistical problem with it is just like it's the amount of content anymore. Because then you look at other like big blockbuster things like outside of superhero stuff. So if DC's wanting to put out, what they say, they want to put out like 5 movies a year now, like 3 in theaters, 2 on HBO Max or something along those lines. So if you got, Star Wars was a thing before. And then you had your Marvel stuff, then your DC stuff, then you have your things like Fast and the Furious and Mission Impossible, and like there's a number of franchises out there that are pretty consistent with the movie, like Jurassic Park even. All these things are billion-dollar potential movies, if not they legitimately make billions of dollars every time they come out. And it's just like 5 movies I just said. That's 5 months of the year. You got to spread them out by like 2 months alone just to get it done. You're already going to be eating in on each other. Like, it's just too much shit. There's too much stuff out there.
Right.
And then you got the smaller ones that come in, like the ones that didn't make a lot of money, like when they were making the Star Trek movies. They were the big blockbuster movies. They weren't making as much as everything else, but they were trying to, and it was the same demographic, so they can't come out at the same time. It's a big thing. It's honestly a big thing. I was trying to pull up the worldwide box office numbers for Fast and Furious, but it's only showing me domestic numbers, so it's not really what I was looking for. I don't know why I can't find it. Like Box Office Mojo just won't show me the worldwide numbers.
Box Office Mojo, by the way, is terrible ever since IMDb got their hands on it.
I know, ever since they redid the site, it's not as convenient at all.
Well, and they took away so much information. They put it all behind the paywall. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which might be what this is. They might not be showing me the worldwide gross because I'm not in the. I'm paying for it.
Yeah.
It might just be what it is. Either way. But yeah, they already have even up to Fast 10 plans, so they keep rolling, man.
Right.
They keep rolling.
Fast and Furious 46.
Yeah, and we'll see.
Like,
But yeah, either way, I'm also I'm disappointed for Mortal Kombat, but it's only a week back, so it's not that
Yeah, that's
big of
not
a deal.
bad.
That's not too bad, and I'm glad they did that because they need to get that money out of it.
Hobbs
I am
and
disappointed for Venom though.
Hobbs and Shaw made 759 million worldwide. I'm trying
Yeah.
to find the last one. The last Fast and Furious that came out, but I can't find the number for it.
It's Fate of the Furious.
8.
F8 of the
Yeah, Fate of the Furious.
of the
World.
Furious.
I don't know
Was it
why. that kept-
2018?
I literally deleted that and retyped it out the same way. It made $1.239 billion.
Okay.
And that was literally the previous movie to the one that just, Fast 9 that's coming out now. So, like, Venom only made around 800 million. So.
Yeah.
For sure. But, this studio heads, like, they do work together with their release dates with a lot of this stuff, too. Like, so I'm sure it wasn't. Like, I'm sure they were, like, in cahoots with this. Like, and even if they weren't, it wouldn't really matter. Sony made the right move moving Venom, like, in all honesty. Like, it is what it is. Like, Fast Furious is gonna be even if in the end somehow Venom makes more money, like, neither of them would have made as much if they released at the same time. It just is what it is in the end. But either way, question is, guys, what do you think about this? Which one upsets you the most? Like, now we're looking at Venom being pushed back almost an entire year. As John said, Black Widow is going to be pushed back for over a year now at this point because it's coming out in July. It's supposed to come out in like May of 2020. Let's get there, and that's not even to mention Morbius. Morbius is in the same way. We're in a world now where we should have seen both Venom 2 and Morbius right now. We haven't seen either of them. So, and then Mortal Kombat gets pushed back a week. I think that was a good idea. So, whatever you guys think, let us know down in the comment section below.